Hari Om and welcome to all the Divine Atma Jyotis. Let us continue our contemplation based on the Aparoksha Anubhuti talks given by Sri Prabhuji. So today we will go to day 3 based questions, or questions based on day 3 talk by Prabhuji. So we have shared these questions in the group also. I hope that you have seen the video and also thought about these questions. Shall we begin with
Sir?
Padmaji? Yeah.
I have not contemplated still on day 2 talk.
Would you like? Do you want to first do that?
Yeah, in brief, sir.
Sure. Don't worry. In brief or in elaboration, so how much of a time you want?
As a Mahavati.
Where to go? So, which questions, Deepaji? Questions after 5 or right from beginning?
After 6, I believe.
After 6. Okay, sure. Yeah.
Yeah, from 7th one, sir.
Yes, sure.
Yeah, even that is done. From 8th one.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
How does body move from birth to birth? Body actually, the subtle body moves from birth to birth. Atma is always there. The ego, the Jiva moves from one body to another. And Jiva is a subtle body, sir.
Okay. Can you, elaborate a little more on what is this Jiva, this subtle body?
Jiva is the one that has got all the vasanas and it will be carried to the next birth as well. Subtle body is what is Panchakarmendriya, Jnanendriya and Pranas, Manas, Buddhi, Chitta and Ahankara. And subtle body is not the Atma. We are experiencing the waking world, dream world, the dream state due to the subtle body. And we in the dream, even the subtle body moves. We are just the witness of it.
So when we say, or when you say, Jiva moves from subtle body to subtle body, or birth to birth.
Yeah.
Is it something that only happens at the time of so-called death? What is the birth and the death here that is being referred to?
Birth and the death.
So is the birth, as you notice, coming out from the mother's womb, is that the birth? And is the death when somebody says, oh, now they've passed away, let's bury? Is that the death? Is that the window of the birth and the death?
Atma going into another body is the death. I mean, only after death happens, Atma will change its clothes, will change the body.
What do you mean by Atma going? It's as if like, there are two bodies, here Atma is it, and it moves.
No,
Atma
is always there. Atma is always there. It doesn't have any death.
What do we mean? What do you mean by moving? How can it move? So to move means, it must be in some place, right? Something must be in one place. Then only you can have the concept of, oh, it moves.
Jiva actually goes from one body to another, but it can't go without the Atma. Atma would always be there. So it is a Jiva Atma that moves from one body to another.
Okay, so now is this Jiva, so-called Jiva, what is it? It is something that is able to move and it is aware.
Consciousness is awareness, sir.
Hmm.
And all the three gunas actually makes the jiva do all the karmas, whether it is good or bad. And these will be the the vasanas, and this will be carried to the next birth.
Now, who is
By the
carrying them? Who is carrying them? Who is moving?
jiva carries. Jiva carries it.
What is this idea called as Jiva? Where is this Jiva?
Jiva would be there in the body itself
As what?
as ego.
So that ego is a conscious entity then?
No,
Then what is moving? Who's moving? Anyone else likes to chime in? What or who is moving?
So to me, it's like it's a dream that it's a dream where one is experiencing this change, or like seeing all these things, and even a death is like or in some ways, there is a continuous um, birth and death happening in terms of the change in the body, but where like where we say that the body moving from one birth to another, it's like I for me it's like another getting into another dream with all that vasanas, and like one will end up dreaming again and again until gets the clarity, or basically the ignorance is gone.
So who is moving?
It is the jiva out of ignorance. It,
And what is that Jiva? When you keep referring
yeah.
something as Jiva, what is that? And where is that?
Um,
So, Jiva refers to subtle body, right?
Okay, so what is your current view on what is subtle body, Shilpaji?
So, subtle body is that which operates the gross body, and it has four functions. That is manas, buddhi, ahankara, and chitta.
Hmm.
So, it is the subtle body that moves from birth to birth, because the subtle body is what carries the imprints of previous life.
So is the subtle body conscious? So when we use the word Jiva,
yeah. So
what are we referring to?
yeah, so there is still there is only one, or there is no other, say Brahman only, and even the ignorance is also is a part of the creation. There is it's not outside the Brahman, right? And it's the when that ignorance is lighted up, and that's what we see. We are calling it as reflected consciousness, Chidabhasa, right? And that's what again is called as Jiva. Right? So there is you've seen that it can like how did this ignorance come into picture? It's something like it cannot be explained again. Where did it start? And can enlightened one can go back to ignorance, or right? So that it is there, and it was like how we cannot explain when Brahman started, or like when was Brahman born. Like that, ignorance is also there always, and I would say the lighting of that ignorance is what creates Jiva, and then it's the same as Atma only, which out of that ignorance goes through all these problems, which is what we call as the mind, and then like it gets enlightened, and then I guess maybe to visualize, I would say in a white screen there are some dark spots, and they get changed to. It's a little difficult to explain, but I'm also it's there are some points here and there I'm trying to connect to see how I can explain. I do struggle. It's to explain this. That's why I'm trying again and again.
Yeah. That's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
That's
So
in one line.
but the main point I want to clarify is ignorance is, see, there is nothing outside Brahman, right? So ignorance is also part of Brahman, but and like one cannot say how the ignorance came into picture and when did it start, and that ignorance is what gives rise to Jivatma, and the whole life one goes through is just is a dream of this Jivatma, and the dream continues as long as that ignorance is gone.
Okay, excellent.
And
You were saying something.
yeah.
Sir, is the Jiva not ego?
Yeah, we'll come to that point. I want to hear what Shubhaji had to say.
Sir, in simple terms, if I have to put it, when I identify myself as body, mind, intellect, I am the Jiva. When I move beyond that, that is when I am Brahman. That I has to realize. When it realizes, that I am not the body, mind, intellect, it is Brahman. That's the only difference. It's in one line if I have to put it.
Excellent. Very nice.
Who's this I?
Shubhaji, you heard the question. Saranji is prompting you to answer, who is this I? Who's recognizing?
Consciousness.
So are you saying that the consciousness is ignorant and the consciousness is recognizing its ignorance?
No, the I, the I as such right now, after all these classes, the I in me, I'm talking about the I. I realize that I am not the body, mind and intellect. So I am Brahman, right? So, but when I am in ignorance and I identify myself with the body, mind, intellect, I am the Jiva.
So then where is this Jiva or Jivi? Where is this? What is this essentially?
Ignorance.
Correct. But what is that thing? We call something as an ignorance, ego, right? What is it in terms of, is it a nose? Is it an eye? Is it a brain? What is it?
Actually, the answer is there in the way Subhaji explained. She said, like, when I think, then I am this. When I get, I am this. So basically, it's a role. It's just the thought that I am the ignorant and I am the so right. It's you have decided what you are.
Yes.
Then it becomes the answer leads to that thought.
Observer and the observed. When I am the observer, I am Brahman. And when I am observed, that is when I take all forms.
When you observe, when you're saying when you observe, what is the difference between observer and when you observe? It's the same, right?
Observed.
Observer.
Okay. Okay, you can use the seen and the seer.
Yeah. Seen and the seer, yeah.
Oh, okay. So,
go
so if you are saying when you are seen, that means it's for someone else, not for you, right?
No, that is not what she is saying. Could you please say it again with the seer and the seen?
Yeah. I don't know how to put it now.
Because when you say when I am seen, that means it's for someone else, not for you.
No, it's like a sakshi. When I am in a state of sakshi, I am just the Brahman, right? That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay. What is the others?
Observe. When I'm observed, it is more like a nature, right? Prakriti, which we give names and forms.
So when you're saying when you get identified with the name of the form, then you are a Jiva.
Yes.
Okay. So that's where my question is. So if you're saying when you are observed, VED, or when you're seen, then it's for someone else, right? Someone else has to see you.
Yeah, that is where we identify ourselves as someone else, right? When you are the self, you don't identify the other as the other. Like Ramana Maharshi says,
so only
there is no other.
Okay. So only in the presence of others, you become Jiva. And when there is no one, then you are Brahman.
No, I am always Brahman. But in my Vyavaharika world, I have to say that, otherwise they will think I am mad.
That also you are thinking.
I have to think that a lot, because lot of cases the wavelengths don't match. What we talk, the other person may not understand. So if I keep saying I am Brahman, I am you, you are me, then they will say, okay, something has happened to Shubha. She was okay till yesterday.
No, but it's not about saying, right? It's about being. So saying doesn't make that. It's more about the saying has to lead to the being. Otherwise, this saying stops. Saying it is at a different level, and being is at a different level. It's so.
No, can you phrase it as a question, Sarananji? If there is a question.
Yeah. No, so the question I was asking is, like she said, when I am watching, I am an observer, I am Brahman. When I am observed, I become a Jiva. So that means there itself the answer, to me it is like you are Brahman only, and like you cannot become Jiva because someone observed you. It is possible that for them you are a Jiva, but for okay, let me let me say from my point of view, right? If I say that like I am Brahman when I am observing, and I become Jiva when I am observed, and the observed always happens for other, not for me.
She's not saying that. She's saying, when I remain as a Sakshi, I am aware that I am Brahman. However, when I get associated with whatever that is coming and going, the Prakriti, then I take on the thought of a Jivi. She is not trying to explain it from the other's viewpoint. She is explaining it from her viewpoint only.
Okay.
When she remains as Sakshi, she is aware she is Brahman. So the distinction between a Brahman and a Jiva, she is saying is, she feels like a Jivi when she gets identified with the thoughts that are coming and going.
That's perfect. Yeah.
That's all she's saying.
Okay.
Is that agreeable to you?
So the association of thought is what and is what makes one bound, and the association of thought is because of the ignorance. Yeah.
So you're in agreement with Shubhaji?
Okay. Yeah.
I'm asking.
Yes. If what you are putting it across, yeah.
Okay,
The association of thought is what makes one bound, and which gives rise to a Jiva.
Shubhaji, is that what you were saying?
Exactly, sir. Yeah.
And again, it's a Jiva is a result, is a derived entity from the Brahman, which is always lighting up, right? And that's what I was trying to say. Like, how did it come into being? Is this lighting up the ignorance, which is the mind, or what we call as sukshma sarira. Yeah. And that is also part of Brahman only. It's not outside.
So prior to Jnana, there is a deep identification with that ignorance. Post Jnana, the identification stops, but the tendencies don't necessarily have to stop. The vritti, whatever that is there, will rise up. But there is no more identification with the vritti as I am that.
Yeah.
So the fundamental vritti, therefore, is I am doing, I am the one who has to enjoy the fruit. When that association breaks, then drama continues. Identification drops. So fundamentally, there is light only. There is awareness only, nothing else. There is nothing else. There is no other. pure awareness is there. In the pure awareness, when it shines on anything, the quality of awareness shines, which is whatever it shines on, the jnana of whatever it is shining on, it arises. When it shines, when awareness shines on book, the jnana that it is a book arises. So like that, whatever it shines on, that is the jnana that comes. So that's why there is this phrase, Satyam Jnanam Anantam. So Brahma, so that Brahma is Satyam Jnanam Anantam. At a cosmic level, it is Satyam Jnanam Anantam. So the jnana is because of this pure awareness, because it is already there. So depending upon the object on which it shines, if the object is the thought called I am a body, I am a mind, I am a intellect, and that is coming because of what? Because of the ignorance. Ignorance of what? Ignorance of my true nature. So the ignorance is what? Nothing but a thought. Body is what? Is nothing but actually a thought. So whatever you see is a thought, fundamentally. Because you have always been seeing only through various kinds of thought forms come and go. So at the most subtlest level, it is the thought, and your boundary of that thought is what creates that subtle body. Indian. Where is this Indian body? Indian body is something which is there in your mind as a thought. And that body is currently extending from whatever you think is India. But if somebody asks, show me through my eyes, where is this Sarananji's Indian body or Deepaji's Indian body, it cannot be shown. Mm-hmm. But you know it is there because you deeply are connected to all that you think is Indian. What is Indian? It again depends on you. That's why sometimes in the road, when there is an accident, the other fellow gets very upset. Let's say two cars just brush with each other. Some people come out and start screaming at it. You've not harmed their body, their physical body, but still they get very upset. Why? Because they have a mental association with their car body. And it is a car body that, is currently brushed. And they're very tightly bound to the car body. So they come and scream and yell and sometimes may even murder others out of all that road rage, right? So the association is with the car body. I am that car is the deep association. I am my house. I am, the money that I have. I am the position that I have. So where is this idea called as for example, husband? Is it in the body? I am a father. Is it in the body? So the idea called I am a husband, I am a father, I am a whatever the role is a thought. And the deep association to that thought that I am, and whatever the role or the thought that is coming, getting deeply connected to that is what causes the whole drama. So that's why when Guruji asks, share few sentences about you, the general tendency is to talk about, from a body standpoint, I'm a man, I'm 45 years old, I'm 6 feet tall, I was born there. From a mental thoughts standpoint, I have completed that degree, I work as this, I have accomplished this. And then Guruji asks you, whatever you told is nothing but your biodata about your body or about your mind. About you, I'm asking. Give me something about you. So that I, which is the pure light, when it is connected with all these thoughts, and there is a ignorant thought that I am one of these, or I am some of these, that ignorant thought is what causes continuation of this suffering, because there's a connection to something limited. So when it is said that body moves from birth to birth, what is happening? Thoughts are emerging, thoughts are going away, and you are getting connected to the thought. Sometime back, you were a little child who did not even know your name. After a while, you got associated with the name. So now you've taken birth in that sense as that name. And then somebody comes and says, you are a man, or you are a boy, or you are a girl. So now you take birth as a girl. Is it really the body that we're talking about? The body came from the mother's womb sometime back, but you were not associated as a girl or as a boy or as whatever the given name in your society. You did not know you are a Hindu or a Muslim or a Christian or an Indian. You were not associated with those ideas. That's why children have no problem mingling with anybody. Children mingle with anybody very easily. Why? There is no mental body called as I am a Hindu or I am a Muslim. I can eat this, I cannot eat that. That is not yet there. All that birth hasn't happened. So in a way, constantly when you see, when you deeply get connected to a thought, that thought takes birth in you, meaning you as that body has taken birth. And it is those tendencies that carry. Just see, in the morning when you wake up and when you go to, say, for example, you may first go and do namaz. Why? Because you have got deeply associated as a particular identity. And that identity has to do certain religious rituals. So your very action in life is because of who you think you are. So if you think you are that, then you will act according to that. So it is not necessarily from the birth of the body and end of the body. The tendencies are continuously changing depending upon what information is coming to you and what you accept, what you reject. You're becoming that or this. So what is actually moving? It's only the thought forms that are coming and going. You have not been moving. You are the light in whose presence this movement is happening. You yourself are not moving. And when there is a thought, you are simply the light that lights up that thought. Deepaji, is this...
Yes, sir. I have a question.
Yes, please.
In an enlightened being, will there not be any vasanas?
So let's ask the first question, which is enlightenment. What is enlightenment? What is your current view of what is enlightenment?
Where whoever is enlightened will always remember that he is Brahman, and just go on applying the knowledge that he has acquired over the years.
Okay. So has got established in the clarity of who I really am.
Yes.
Is that another way of saying?
Yeah.
So there is no more confusion about who I am.
Yeah.
That I am this, I am that. That confusion has gone away. Correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that another way of saying?
Yes.
Okay. So can we also say that it means that I am that or I am this? That is what we have been calling as ignorance, right? I am man, I am woman, I am good, I am bad, I am
Yeah.
all these is statements of ignorance, correct?
Yeah.
Can it also be said that enlightenment essentially means ignorance has stopped?
Yeah.
Which means what? There is no more association. There is no more deep association to I am that, I am this. Because rest everything
Yes.
follows I am that or I am this.
Yeah.
All other actions follow I am that or I am this, correct?
Yeah.
And the fruits also follow the actions. You already know that.
Yeah.
So which means that when I am something, then I do something, some action, and that some action produces some result, and I am responsible for that result. So now I feel connected to that result. If the result is according to what I wanted, I'm happy. If it is not, I'm unhappy. So if I'm unhappy, I again do something about it. So the cycle of doing is continuing, correct?
Yeah. It is because of the vasana.
It is because of the fundamental thought that I am that or I am this.
Okay.
Is it not?
Yeah.
See,
Going beyond 3 gunas, in the sense, those gunas would be there, but since the enlightened being knows the truth, he or she doesn't associate with what is happening, right, sir?
correct. See, for example, there is fire. There's a let's say lamp that you've lit, and there is a little bit of fire. Now, what is the nature of the fire?
To burn.
If you keep your hand, it burns, correct?
Yeah.
So knowing that, would you keep your hand?
No.
Maybe you may take it closer, when it is very cold, you may take it closer, because it makes your body feel warm. So, which means what? The moment you have come to know about the reality of something, the nature of something, you know when to use and when not to be affected by it.
Yes, sir. So similarly, vasanas would be there, but the person doesn't associate himself with those. That's the reason the cycle of desires stop.
He or she is free. He or she is free.
Yeah, yes, sir.
But the body continues to go through whatever the, depending upon the, see, it is like, I've shot an arrow. Okay. Suddenly arrow will not disappear in between.
Yes.
That arrow will go and hit something. So that is why it is called as prarabdha. So the mind and body is a product of the prarabdha. That tendency will continue. Imagine there is a slope, and you let a rolling object from the top. It will continue to roll. But you are no more. You are no more the product of your thoughts. Prior to knowledge, you are the product of your thought. If somebody came and told you, you're so beautiful, oh, so happy. If somebody came and told you, stupid, is this the way to behave? You're so sad.
Yeah.
Why? What did they call as the beautiful? For a moment, reflect on that. What did they call as beautiful?
They called me beautiful, and beautiful
They call
is
you
the
beautiful? Did they call you beautiful?
no.
In that particular person's mind, then the form of your body was beautiful, so they called your body beautiful with whatever the dress it was wearing.
Yes, sir.
Did they call you beautiful?
No.
I take that on me. Oh, they're calling me beautiful.
Yeah.
Of course, you are definitely beautiful, but not in the sense of a physical beauty, because you are the very source of the beauty. So you are the most beautiful, but not in the sense of the body that wears a dress.
Yes, sir.
Because of that lack of that clarity, I became happy. Oh, I'm so beautiful. And now when they came and said, so stupid, what did they call us stupid? Who did they call us stupid?
His body itself.
Either, see, because there's nothing called a stupid body, right? Generally, it is some
Stupid
behavior
mind.
that generally we call as stupid, right?
Yeah.
For example, if somebody gave you iPhone and they said, make a call, and you are searching everywhere, how to turn on the iPhone? You're just looking everywhere. Imagine, I'm not saying you are like that. And usually our children come and say, Amma, Appa, so stupid, so simple, come here, give it to me. And they tuck and they do it. Yo, Rama, that's all. Okay. So, what did they call us stupid?
His mind.
Yeah, some lack of knowledge, right? But what do you and I do? They call me stupid. My God, my children are so smart than me. I feel so stupid to open my mouth in front of them. So what was not meant for me, I have grabbed it. And I've become beautiful, I've become stupid, I've become angry, I've become like that. I've become everything that I've become in the life. Whatever you call as I am this or that is all nothing but all these kinds of things which are not yours.
Yes, sir.
So enlightenment means what, therefore?
Coming out of ignorance that I am this or that.
That's all. Simply snapping out of the dream. In the dream, you're seeing so many characters.
Yes, sir.
And you're crying. Ayyo, tiger came. I'm running. I'm falling, right?
Yeah.
And when you wake up, that was just a dream.
Yes, sir.
Does it mean that the dream has to stop?
No.
Let it continue. The problem is not the dream. Where is the problem?
In my mind.
It is you.
I'm associating myself with that.
Taking ownership of something
Can't hear
that
you,
doesn't
sir.
belong to you.
Yes, sir.
So your voice is breaking.
Yeah.
So let me stop the video.
Sir, are you there?
I'm there, Rishubaji. Am I audible?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Yeah. I've stopped the video. So this may be better now. So Deepaji, now please tell me what is enlightenment?
coming out of ignorance, and also coming out of the ignorance that I am what the people call me, and being free from associating myself with what others say.
Correct. And that is what is in the very beginning only of this is illustrated as the three bandhanas.
His body, mind. Yes, sir.
Yeah. When I think
Yes.
of myself as a body, then all the limitations of the body are superimposed on me.
Yes, sir.
This is the problem of superimposition. Something that is not there, but I am claiming it is there.
Yes, sir.
That is the reason the snake and the rope example is given. So the fundamental issue or the fundamental ignorance is superimposition. The body is not really there. It's a change of energy that is seen in, when I take a snap, it is seen. Otherwise, it is simply a change that is happening. Mind is simply a change that is happening. But I take snaps and I'm deeply connected to the snaps.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now tell me, what is the pre and the post of the jnana?
Pre is ignorance. Then post is knowledge.
Excellent. What kind of knowledge are we talking about here?
Spiritual knowledge. It's about me.
Which is what?
I am Brahman.
When you use the word I am Brahman, what does it mean?
That this that Brahman is free of any gunas, any impurities, and it doesn't do anything. All that, sir. All the qualities that have been discussed earlier.
Yeah. So can you see this picture?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, there is a comparison given between a Jivi and a Jivanmukta. So can you see that?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So can you read out? Yeah, yeah.
Jivi thinks is body plus mind. Jivanmukta is free of false identities. That is Aparoksha Anubhuti. Jivi is controlled by ego and ego blocks the self. Whereas Jivanmukta uses the ego. Jivi, it's me and others thinking. Jivanmukta is universal consciousness. That everyone is me. Then Jivi is prisoner of karma.
No, you missed one point. Memory.
Yes, sir. Memory. Jivi, memory is substitute for reality in a Jivi. Jivanmukta will use the memory.
What does it mean?
Jivanmukta actually will use the memory in a good way, so that he'll not fall into the trap that we are in. It is Jivanmukta is very clear about using the memory or ego for its good. Whereas the Jivi, in a Jivi, just the memory is the substitute for reality. When we are sad, we would think of all the things that have made me feel happy, and those are the memories.
Can you give an example for what you understood?
Yes, sir. My father, he's no more, sir, which makes me feel sad. But the memories that I have about him, what is being taught by him, that makes me feel happy.
Okay.
So I'm substituting the things that are happening now, I mean, the way I'm feeling with the memory.
Okay.
So I'm using the memory as a substitute for reality that is no more. Even that is,
Huh.
but I'm feeling attached to him still.
So the memory of your father is there. That is okay. So let us take a very simple example, Deepaji. So for
Yes, sir.
example, let's say somebody walks in front of you. Okay.
Mm.
And let's assume he or she yesterday had scolded you. When you look at them now, how do you see?
There'll be a bitter idea again.
Because you right now, who's in front of you? From a body standpoint, it's a new body.
Yeah.
That body that was there yesterday is no more the same body that is standing in front of you.
Yeah.
The mind that was yesterday is not the same mind.
Yes, sir.
In that other person also, the only constant is the awareness only, existence only. However, what is that a Jivi notices? Oh, that fellow came. Yesterday he scolded me. Now, let me give him back. So right now, in front of you, he may be coming, or she may be coming, maybe to seek forgiveness. But your mind already is creating a scene. Let him come. Let me show who I am. So,
Yes,
which means what? The present moment, you are living
in those
by
memories.
not what is happening, but by your memory.
Yes, sir.
This is the fundamental difference between a Jivanmukta and a Jivi.
Yes, sir.
So Jivanmukta uses the functional memory. The person's name, when they talk. So it doesn't mean that, they've lost the memory. It's not that, first time you introduce yourself to Prabhuji as Deepa and next time he is again asking, who are you? Who are you? It's not like that.
Yes, sir.
But there is no analysis of the present based on the memory. Which in other words can be said as, when we live life, we generally have a tendency to look at who did what kind of a thinking. Whereas what has happened and how do we move forward is the way that a Jivanmukta encourages us to think. Generally, we organize so many events, right? Even in Light of the Self. And there is generally some or the other disturbance. That Atmajyoti said that Atmajyoti did that, all that kind of things come up.
Yeah.
And Prabhuji always encourages, ask the question, what happened and what needs to be corrected, rather than who did it and who's to be held accountable for this. Do you see the difference?
Yes, sir.
So the suffering in life is because of our tendency, or the mind's tendency, to go at she did it, he did it, they said it. A Jivanmukta simply looks at, oh, this happened, what needs to be done next? All right, please continue.
Yes, sir. What is material for the world?
No,
It is,
yes, you did not complete this between the Jiva and the Jivanmukta. There is one more point.
Yes, sir. Jivi is the prisoner of karma. Jivanmukta is free from bondage of karma.
What does it mean?
Here, Jivi is a prisoner of karma because the person would do something and will be expecting the fruits from it. And the action that he has performed may also be bad, and that again will come back to him. So he's always a prisoner. Whereas the Jivan Mukta is free from bondage of karma because he does the action and doesn't expect the result from it. He's okay with whatever he gets. So he's free from the bondage of karma.
Again, here there are very two important truths that the Jnani has realized. One, I am not the doer. Two, I am not the enjoyer.
Yes, sir.
Karma bandhana essentially means I am the doer. I only did it.
Yes.
And also because I am the enjoyer. I am expecting the fruit. Right?
Yeah, yeah.
Does it mean that the Jnani doesn't act in the world?
No, the Jnani would act, but since he doesn't expect any fruits from it and accepts whatever he gets, he would be free from the bondage.
Also, Jnani doesn't claim, I did it.
Yeah.
So now can you summarize? What do you think is the answer to your question?
There would be vasanas in the Jivan Mukta, but he doesn't associate himself with anything. He would be with the thought that he's not the doer, he's not the enjoyer.
And now the discrimination, the viveka is so sharp that, when the vasana arises, which of the tendency to give direction to, which of the tendency to ignore is very clear.
Yeah.
So based on the past, a vasana that, as an example, I'm saying, the vasana that I have to also go and drink alcohol and enjoy may come, that thought may come, but the Jnani has such a sharp discrimination that will, like a cloud that comes, he will let that pass. So then, because there is no more enjoyment that he or she can derive from that thing called as alcohol.
Yes, sir.
And the only action that seems to happen around Jnani, therefore, is Loka Kalyana.
Yes, sir.
Because the Jnani himself or herself is not looking out for anything.
Yes, sir.
So now can you see the picture also above this table?
Yes, sir.
What does the picture tell you?
We can see there will be a lot of ego in a Jivi, and the ego is nil in the Jivanmukta.
Is it nil? I mean, is that ego is represented through that some small ellipse, right? Is it not there? The color has changed, but can you say it's not there?
It's there, sir, but color has changed.
What does it mean?
Here he doesn't think that he is not the. He thinks that he is not the doer and he is not the enjoyer. That's the reason we can see that there's a difference in between these two egos.
Yeah, but he also uses various identities in the world.
Yes, sir.
Prabhuji will introduce himself as, I did that, I studied there, this is what I did, and I am a father to his child. So he also says that.
Yeah, that is just to operate in this world.
So it's a functional operation. It's a using the ego, not getting used by the ego.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
So now that is why the ego is also shown in the color of the awareness. So that yellow is the color of the awareness. Again, don't imagine that awareness itself is yellow. As a picture, it is represented here. Awareness is the only truth, even before jnana. But
awareness here would be the same in everyone.
But the mind and the ego, the antakarana, ego is part of the antakarana, was blocking that realization.
Yes, sir.
That's why all the masters talk about only self-realization. Only I can be realized. I don't know whether somebody else is ignorant or not. I can see my own ignorance and I can snap out of my ignorance. That much I can be very clear. I can clean my window. So Jnani simply has cleaned his window and become free. That's all. And that's why in the picture you see him simply sitting there.
Yeah.
But you don't see Prabhuji simply sitting there, do you?
No. He's working for the Loka Kalyana and not for himself.
Yeah. So therefore, a Jnani has realized, I am no body. In other words, Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma. All that is nothing but me only.
Yes.
In one sense. And he said, Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma, all that is Brahman only. There is no more a limitation of I am ending at this body level.
Yes, sir.
This so-called individual body level. What is referred as the Vishwa Pragna, universal consciousness, Vishwa Prema. Vishwa means all the sum total of all the bodies.
It's like that one actor playing multiple roles, like that. The way I see it, just Brahman has taken multiple roles and like just interacting with each other.
Yeah.
And all are you only, so all are one. So there is no. I cannot hurt other. It is only me, only one.
So that's why he said, when you hurt somebody, you're truly hurting yourself.
When I'm helping myself. It's, everything is, there is no other. So
Anything else, Deepaji, on this?
No, sir.
Okay, all right. Anyone else wants to add or ask? Satyaji, Padmaji, Shilpaji.
I just
Vijay,
came.
I've understood everything, Vijayji, but maybe I was on and off in between. So far, it is very clear.
Okay, Satyaji. Shubhaji, you were saying something?
Yeah, I just came across this particular saying by some, I don't know the author. He has defined Ishvara. Ishvara is inherent power of Brahman to manifest as God. But in reality, Brahman never actually manifests as God because Brahman alone exists, not Brahman plus God.
Correct.
yeah.
See, because the way we think, right? Becoming means, oh, yeah, Brahman has become Ishvara. Becoming, there's an idea of, okay, I take, say, for example, we have seen, we take a tree and, make it into sap and then, make it into paper. So where is the tree? Tree has disappeared. Tree is no more there, right? And now it has become the paper. So the form has completely changed. Oh, so the tree has now been killed, right? So that's how the physical transformation we see. Whereas in the case of Brahman, there is no becoming. Just because water appears as wave, ocean, water vapor, it has not become that. It appears as that. In your dream, you see characters. You've not become the character. Because of you, they're appearing. You have always remained the same. You have not been modifying. So the superimposition of modification on you is the cause of confusion. So in that sense, that statement, there is no separation. Shubhaji, is that agreeable?
Yes, sir.
All right. Padmaji, Shilpaji, any last thoughts?
No, sir. It was clear, sir.
All right. Shilpaji, shall we end? Okay, so maybe looks like our internet is not working. All right, then we'll end our contemplation here.